Dear President Ms. Garcia Perez, dear colleagues and dear friends, it's Dimitar Kovachevski, President of Social Democratic Union of Macedonia. And there is a great wine actually in Serbia which is owned by the family Kovachevich there. So you should try it. Dear colleagues and dear friends, for me it is a great honor to speak today among such great leaders, among sincere friends, among people with whom I know we share the same values and vision for a better and a more just world. And I am happy to see that there are so many of us fighting for the right cause for our current and future progress. Let me be frank and open. I feel great excitement, joy and proud when I arrived at our today's meeting. It is because I still remember the pleasure and my feelings when we had meetings in the mid-90s, both in Skopje but moreover abroad at the Socialist Youth International conferences, summer schools, workshops. And I cannot be more grateful that I belong to the core generations of young social democrats that grew, learned, and developed together, that shared and are sharing the same core values and principles, and moreover are continuously implementing our country's political, economic, and social life. And believe me, even today I share the same enthusiasm as back then, and I feel the same energy, eagerness, and determination to continue our important work. And our work is important, even more so now when we are facing such challenging times for social democracy. Therefore, in my speech, I will talk about social democratic policies, but I will also highlight several remarks and warnings that EU must seriously understand and support, which may be local but have regional and therefore global impact. We are living in the biggest economic and energy crisis after the World War II, and we are seeing war on the European continent, something that we didn't thought would ever happen again. We thought we've learned our lessons 77 years ago, but I guess history will repeat itself until we finally learn from it. So yet again, we are facing increased instability, poverty, rise of nationalism, and dangerous populism and great division and polarization by many lines. Some days it seems like there is no middle ground, and it seems that the world is going through a turmoil from which a new world should and will arise. The question today is, can the social democracy save and stabilize the world again? Can we ensure economic prosperity and social stability and safeguard democracy for future generations? Can we transform society again and create a better future for our generation and for our children? These are tough questions, I know, and the debate can be hard and long on this, but for myself, I can say that I am a rational optimist, as I like to say often. This means that I believe in a better future, but work hard to achieve the set goals on the way to the better future. Step by step, working towards a better, just, free and inclusive society for all. For my homeland, for North Macedonia, these hard questions are also an overarching theme, but this rational approach that I took yielded real, tangible results in a very short time. I became president of SDSM and prime minister in the very heat of the economic crisis, when the world slowly left the pandemic behind. Soon after the Russian aggression on Ukraine, and that pressed us even deeper into the economic and energy crisis that we have ever faced on the European continent. In the past 10 months, we managed to overcome the challenges imposed by the global economic and energy crisis and practically save and preserve the capacity of the Macedonian economy at all. When the war started, it was not clear whether would be enough food, electricity, heating, gasoline, there will be enough financial resources. This was a difficult situation for all, but it was and still is most challenging for the most vulnerable citizens. My promise and my mission was and still is that no one will be left behind. And we did not leave anyone behind. And I still strongly believe that this is the right path and the essence of social democracy. That is the most appropriate response to the crisis based on the values of solidarity and justice. So we focused on the most financially vulnerable categories of citizens, pensioners with small pensions, single parents, students, and other vulnerable categories of citizens. We decided to act responsibly, and in these times of need, with this responsible approach, allocated available budgets correctly and returned the money to the citizens when it was most needed. We provided 2 packages of anti-crisis measures to protect the most vulnerable citizens with over 5% of GDP, which is the biggest package in the entire region. With the same responsible approach, we were also able to provide liquidity to the companies, ensuring job security for all our citizens. In good faith and hands-on management, we managed to provide enough food, electricity, and heating, so no one is left alone. The living standard is one of the most important issues for us. By doing this, we have managed to protect the living standard and the dignity of all the citizens. We have also increased the minimum wage. We increased the wages in the most crucial public sectors: education, health, security. We have also raised the pensions, making people will have enough means to relieve the inflation that the crisis brought together with it. Anti-crisis measures and all the other steps that we took are yielding results. But of course, we still have work to do in front of us. As I often say, this is a time for solidarity, not a time for abundance. So we are taking it step by step, but with full force to protect the living standard of the citizens. With the same responsible approach, but also with a vision for the future, we approach the energy transformation that we need so much, especially in the time where lack of energy is a daily problem. North Macedonia has abundant resources. We have sun for 280 days of the year. We have water, fertile soil. With the right support and management, I am confident that we can transform our beautiful country into a green energy hub and ensure both energy independence and supply the region with electricity from renewables. The European Union offers the support and will be a trusted partner in this transformation. We are working together with you on the opportunities to develop projects in the energy sector. This is the future and it is not out of our reach. We are already taking the first steps, and I am confident that we will realize our vision and ensure investments in the industries of the future that will bring us more jobs, better paid jobs, bring us better shared future. The green energy transition is definitely underway. So we have started construction of big solar power plants that we didn't have before, and by the end of 2023, we expect between 200 and 300 megawatts of solar power plants to be connected to the grid. This is an indication of where we are going as a society. It is an indication that we are also following the global circumstances towards renewable energy sources. We are thinking about energy, but also about the environment and quality of life. This brings me to the next important topic I would like to share with you. We are entering a new phase, a new economic vision, where we see the crisis as an opportunity for developing and for creating a better standard for our citizens. We need economic progress and development. No society can thrive without it. When I talk about economic development, 2 main focuses is actually job creation and better paid jobs. Only in the first 10 months of the year, we have managed to create more than 2,000 jobs with new foreign direct investments. And that is something that we, and that I personally will continue to do in the future. Because in order to curb the effects of the crisis, we can do 2 things. The first is that we directly support the citizens with anti-crisis measures that will ease the effects of the crisis, which we are doing with full force. The second one is that we work on the economy and create better paid jobs so people can have better salaries that will help them live through this high inflation and might even, I say, help them thrive in times of crisis. The challenge is here, but with hard work, nothing is impossible. This is our main focus alongside our EU integration, because our citizens deserve a better future. This war, among others, has proven that in order for Europe to be a secure and strong continent, the European Union needs a peaceful and integrated Western Balkans region. The enlargement issue is no longer just an enlargement issue, but it's also a geostrategic and security issue. That is why we worked diligently on the European Union accession and worked on getting the best possible proposal from the European Union that will incorporate our positions. And on the 19th of July, we have started the long-awaited negotiations with the European Union. In the process, we secured the Macedonian language in the European Union. We protected the Macedonian identity once and for all. We've signed the Frontex agreement in Macedonian language that proved that the European Union is a credible partner and delivers its promises. We've secured that the screening process will be merit-based, and we as a country are ready to take on next challenges that will bring us closer to fulfilling our strategic goal, full-fledged membership in the European Union. Our hard work for the European Union membership is not only for the sake of the membership itself. It is our pledge to a society that lives by European values, society with a better educational, social, and health system, a country with a thriving economy, better standard of living, and wealthier citizens. Therefore, I want to make several warnings to the European Union and joint actions that are required. The Union must not allow new blockades. I expect from the European Union to watch the progress of my country and the contribution it makes and not allow blackmail from anyone in the process. Let's talk about criteria and their fulfillment, because the credibility of the European Union in the Balkans is seen through the example of North Macedonia. If that credibility is lost, the European Union risks losing the entire region. Second, the European Union must seriously consider the obstructions of the opposition and the attempts to threaten the European path at any cost by ВМРО ДПМН and Levica. I mentioned the rise of populism in Europe. Populism is rising far faster in the Western Balkans. There is a political party called Levica, but it has nothing to do with the left. They are more the far right. The sentence and the words which I am using for them is that they are the agents of chaos. The only thing that they are creating is a chaos in the country. And even bigger danger is that they have taken ВМРО ДПМН as a hostage. So ВМРО ДПМН, as a conservative party, is competing on the far right for the far right votes with them. So the blockades of the parliament and of the democratic processes for progress towards the European Union are a blockade of European values. European people parties in these circumstances cannot be mere silent observers, because jeopardizing the European path of North Macedonia is jeopardizing European values. Let's make joint efforts not to allow third parties to benefit, to jeopardize European values, and to jeopardize European credibility. The European Union must be clear and loud to all the parties that hinder or block the country's European path. All of these efforts that I just placed in front of you are the benefits of social democratic policies. This is what I believe today's true patriotism is: working hard and making hard decisions, all for a better future of our citizens, better conditions so young people can build their European future in a European Union country, but at home in North Macedonia. As conclusion, I strongly believe that our social democratic policies and approach is our guarantee for a better future. Only through solidarity, clear vision and hard work we can change the world again. At the very end, thank you for being part of today's family meeting, I would say. Please be sure that, as in the past, you have a strong, credible and sustainable social democratic partner in me, in the Social Democratic Union of Macedonia, and in my homeland, North Macedonia. Thank you.